Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to do an episode and answer every single question that you might have Googled about wholesale and real estate. So some people just Google themselves. I'm about to Google wholesale and real estate and see what questions you might have had. Okay, let's go. Is wholesaling and real estate legal in Florida? Yes, it is. So there are some states that wholesale and real estate is not legal, so that's going to answer the first and the second question. There are states, for example, in Illinois, the entire state of Illinois, it's not legal to wholesale real estate, but there are ways around it. So for example, if you're from Illinois, you can't really do assignment contracts. That's what's illegal. Not wholesaling itself, the assignment contracts are illegal. So the way to go around it, I've heard some wholesalers they do double closings and stuff like that, or you have to get a real estate license to be able to assign contracts and do all that process. So they're pretty much forcing you to get a real estate license so they can be more controlled wholesaling real estate than it was before, more governed by the government. But there are still ways around it, and I've seen people still do it. And by the way, none of this is legal advice or whatever. I'm not giving an exact way that you can go legally around it. You should technically still consult with an attorney if you want to do wholesaling in those states or cities, which I'm about to mention, that are forbidding wholesaling. So for example, in Philadelphia, you're actually not supposed to wholesale as well. So just in the city of Philadelphia, it's not like an entire state thing, it's still in Philadelphia. And that probably will start happening more in different states, different cities. So in general, you should keep an eye out if something changes in your state or your city. Let's go to the next question. Is wholesale real estate easy? No. Wholesale real estate is definitely not easy, and that's what I think the big problem is. A lot of people come into this thinking that it's easy money, it's easy $10,000 a month. It's not. It's a lot of hard work, and if you're not willing to put in the work, you will not succeed. The concept of wholesale real estate is pretty simple. You reach out to an owner, a homeowner or landowner that may be in a distressed situation, some kind of life situation or monetary situation or something with their house or whatever, and you reach out to them and you put the property in the contract. And after you put the property in the contract, you sell it to an investor for a little bit more money, and that's how you make the difference. It's very simple on the paper, but in the reality, it's definitely much difficult and it takes a lot of work. Is wholesale and real estate worth it? Yes, it is. I absolutely think wholesale and real estate is worth it if you're willing to put in the time and work. But realistically, anything you do, any business you try to do, any side hustle, anything like that, if you don't put in the work, it's not worth it. So it's definitely worth it if you put in the work. I like this one. Is wholesale and real estate ethical? I mean, yes. The way that I look at it, and the way that, for example, a lot of people asked me before, I actually had a talk with someone the other day, this guy, we've been talking back and forth because he's trying to do real estate wholesaling. So I'm kind of giving him tips when he reaches out to me. He said, hey, sometimes it gets in my head that maybe what I'll be doing is wrong. And I say, well, it's not exactly wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. Here's how you should think about it. So let's say you have a watch and that you want to sell it. And let's say you need that cash quick and fast. You don't have the time to post it on eBay, to go through the entire process, or reach out to some antique collectors or whatever. You don't have the time or the luxury of time on your hand. So what you do is you go to a pawn shop, and the pawn shop gives you not a lot of money for that watch, not as much as the antique collector could have gave you, or not how much in eBay, how much you could have sold it on eBay. But you get what you wanted, which is quick money fast, because that's what you needed, because you're in a certain type of life situation. You may have put it there yourself, or it just happened and you can't control it. It is what it is. So you, as a wholesaler or as a real estate investor, I look at us as pawn shops. I mean, there's a reason why people go and sell to real estate investors, because their houses are horrible. Like, for example, let me give you an example. I wholesaled this house back probably like 4 months ago. And the reason why the lady reached out to me instead of actually selling on the market, she was going through cancer and she was going through chemo, and COVID-19 happened. So she didn't really have the ability, the luxury of she didn't want a lot of people in the house. Because when you sell on the market with a real estate agent, The real estate agent is gonna have to come by, maybe the appraiser, maybe a lot of people have to come by and look at the property. All that kind of stuff has to happen. And she didn't have the luxury. What I did, I said, okay, what I will do is that I need pictures from you. I'm going to, I'm going to assess the value on those pictures. And after I assess the value on those pictures, there's going to be one day that I come in with a couple of people. You can, if you want to sit in a separate room, we can sit in a separate room and whatever. So her house was a mess. And unfortunately, she was going through a lot of things and her house was a mess and it needed a lot of remodeling to be done. But she really didn't have an option to sell it to someone else besides a wholesaler or a real estate investor. So we actually helped her out to sell the house without any hustle. She didn't do anything. She literally just we talked on the phone a couple times, I sent her the contract, she signed it, and everything else I was doing myself. I promoted it, I sold it, and she didn't do anything. So in a situation like that, or for example, I had another situation. This guy, he's like, I'm too busy to deal with this. I really have this property. It's destroyed, but like I may need to take it away from the property or do something. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. So I came in and I said, okay, well, I'll buy it from you for this amount of money, which was probably cheaper than what he could have got on the market, but that's just how it works. So you, most of the time, don't reach out to a person that has their stuff together and say, hey, I'll buy your house for a dip discount. That doesn't happen. People put themselves, or people are put in those life situations that unfortunately they have to sell to a wholesaler or an investor, and that's when you kind of just help them out. Instead of, there are wholesalers that may take advantage of certain people's situation, but just like any work, if you made $5,000-$10,000 from wholesaling the house, and you think, oh my God, that lady or whatever, they could have got more money for that house, but you did a lot of work for them, and that work and that time is worth something, and that's what it's worth. And the last one is wholesale and real estate legit. Yes, it is legit, 100%. I believe real estate wholesaling was legit when I started. If I didn't believe it was legit, I wouldn't do it. But it was hard to imagine that you can actually make money from doing this. And until that first check hit my bank account, I was like, I see if this works out. I don't know. Will I get paid for this? I don't know. I was so stressed out before my first check, but when I got it, I realized this is 100% real and I can make money doing this. So let's try to type in a different way. Wholesaling, real estate. Okay, so wholesale and real estate contracts. What you should do, if you're looking for wholesale and real estate contracts, you should look, let's say you're trying to wholesale houses, look up in your state, it's called as-is purchase and sale agreement. A lot of times you can find one that's already approved by your state's bar and realtor association. Don't take my word for granted. When you find one, if you want to pay for an attorney to take a look at it, go ahead and do that. I didn't do that, honestly. I didn't have the luxury of paying $500 for an attorney to take a look at my contract. So I just did what I had to do and just was hoping for the best. Wholesale real estate salary. Salary? You have to get out of that mindset. I hope no one really, if it's there, people search for it. There's no salary as a wholesale in real estate. The only salary, the only limitations that you have is yourself, because salary means limitations. It means that you're limited by how much of money you can make a year. This is exactly how much money you make. I definitely understand what people look for the salary, because people are used to working regular jobs and they're used to just getting certain amount of value for their time. And there's no such thing for wholesale and real estate. How much you work, that's how much of money you can make. So the more you hustle, the more money you can make. So it's all depends on you solely. You can expand your business, you can live your business at $5,000 a month, you can do your business at $10,000 a month, and I've seen people do $100,000 a month business. So it all solely depends on you. I'll go wholesale and real estate Reddit. I have no idea. Maybe there is actually a Reddit group that I don't know about, which I should check out. Wholesale and real estate meaning, obviously, you wholesale real estate, you purchase the contract, you put a property on the contract, and you sell the contract to an investor. That's really what it is. And wholesale real estate step by step. If you would like a step-by-step tutorial of wholesale real estate, I will leave a link down below to my video of a step-by-step tutorial the step-by-step that I took when I was learning real estate wholesaling. I appreciate all you guys tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Leave a like, comment. If you have any more questions, comment down below. I'll try to answer all of them. And as always, guys,